Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new, it's great to have you here. Today we are going to explore the topic of stress, hormones, and hair loss. So as many of you know, hair thinning is not a fun problem. I have experienced it myself. And it always makes people feel self-conscious, which of course, who wants to have thinning hair? But as a wellness advocate and a psychologist, I do want to share that you're not alone. Myself and many other women I know have experienced hair loss. And one of the most important things to remember is that there are ways to circumvent that. And I'm here today to share my experiences with that in hopes that I can help some of you who are struggling with this problem. So hair loss is very interconnected, as most other things are in life, to the mind and body connection. And a lot of it has to do with stress levels. There have been times during my life that I've been under an immense amount of stress, and when I take a shower or when I brush my hair, unfortunately, I see hair coming out. So I've done my homework and I've researched it quite a bit, and I'm here to share that knowledge with you and talk about how stress and hormonal changes can impact hair loss and what we can do about that. Let's get started. Let's talk about what happens in your body when you're stressed. Your body produces cortisol, the stress hormone, which can disrupt your normal hair growth cycle. Your hair naturally goes through 3 phases: the growth phase, anagen, the transition phase, catagen, and the resting phase, telogen. When you're stressed, more of your hair follicles can be pushed into that resting phase, which eventually leads to shedding. This is called telogen effluvium, and it's a common response to both physical and emotional stress. What's fascinating is that it just isn't about extreme stress. Even going through low-grade stress can affect your hair over time. And for women approaching menopause, hormonal fluctuations can compound these effects. When estrogen levels decrease during perimenopause and menopause, we lose some of the protective effects this hormone has on our hair. At the same time, the relative influence of androgens increases, which can lead to thinning, especially at the crown and hairline. That's why it's so important to address hair concerns from multiple angles, not just externally with products, but also by managing stress and supporting your body's natural processes. About 2 years ago, I went through some pretty significant hair loss. It was a very challenging time in my life. I had just started a new business. I was having some family issues. And as I said earlier, every time I went into the shower, I just felt like my hair was coming out. And as somebody who takes my appearance as something very important to me and takes pride in, needless to say, this was extremely upsetting. And then it became the vicious cycle. So hair loss added to more stress, added to more hair loss. I knew that I had to do something about it. So I decided to approach this holistically. And rather than just try to treat the problem from a surface level perspective, I really wanted to take a deep-rooted look at what was causing this to occur from a holistic perspective and to really just nip it in the bud. And that's what I did. I want to share the approach I used with you. It had many components. So the first was stress management. I needed to learn what my triggers were and set boundaries for myself. I tend to work a lot, and that was definitely creating a feeling of busyness, and I just needed to slow down a bit. So I created a better routine, some better organization. I made sure to get off my computer and put my phone down about an hour or 2 before bed, and to spend time with my pets and with my family. And that really did help with my stress levels. Second, I focused on nutrition. I made sure to have the proper amounts of healthy fats. And I also looked for nutrients like vitamin B and vitamin D that I knew were good for stress and hair health in general. So by focusing on my nutrition, I had more energy and was in a much more positive mindset. Third, I continued on my exercise routine, but what I learned was that it was really important not to overtrain because that could actually do more harm than good. So I focused on having more active rest days, doing a little bit more yoga, going for long walks on the beach, and just overall using exercise as a way to decompress and move my body. I also made sure to really focus on my sleep and get about 7 to 8 hours a night. As you know, sleep is when your body really regenerates itself, and when it comes to hair, that's when the hair follicles will also start to rebuild. And lastly, I looked for products that would support my hair externally while I worked on it internally. That's when I discovered Scandinavian Biolabs' plant-powered approach. What appealed to me was that their biopilixin formula works with your body's natural processes rather than against them. I particularly appreciate that their formulations contain naturally derived ingredients, are clinically tested, support the natural hair growth cycle, and are dermatologically tested and drug-free. The 3-step system has become an integral part of my self-care routine. The shampoo helps remove buildup that can clog hair follicles, the conditioner supports hair strength, and the serum delivers nutrients directly to my scalp. I use the system daily, applying the serum directly to my scalp after washing my hair with the shampoo and conditioner. The vanilla butyl ether in the serum creates a pleasant warming sensation that stimulates blood flow to the scalp, similar to how exercise increases circulation throughout your body. What I really love about these is that I notice my hair seems more vibrant, thicker, fuller, and I'm really happy about that. The less stress that I have about my hair, I feel like the less I lose because it's taking a holistic approach and it's getting rid of that cycle that was happening before. But you have to remember that just like exercise, taking care of your hair requires consistency. So it's important to stick to it if you really want to see the results you're looking for. I would say it took me about 3 months to get my hair to where it is now, and I'm really, really happy with it. Remember, if you're experiencing hair loss, especially through stress or hormonal changes, that you're not alone. Focusing on making changes both internally and externally can really make a significant difference. Remember that it's important to look at the various parts of your life for optimal hair health. This includes stress management, nutrition, exercise, sleep, and of course using products like Scandinavian Biolabs to make sure you're getting optimal health for your hair. I love to hear about any struggles you've had with hair loss, and if you've had any success, please drop both of those things in the comments. It's great to share as a community. I'll also put a link in my description for some of the products I've shared today from Scandinavian Biolabs. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you found this information was useful. Please, if you know anyone else who's experiencing hair thinning, hair loss, share the video with them. I know they're going to find it super helpful. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all again soon.